Today on the Game Marks podcast, we grab some AA batteries and load up WWF superstars for the Nintendo Game Boy. Ooh. Which of these 5 superstars has what it takes to win the ultimate prize? Does this hold up today? Will we play it forever? Or future endeavor?
You're fired!
Plug in and put on those nostalgia goggles because this week's Game Marks podcast starts now.
And now, the Game Marks!
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast. My name is George Feast.
And I am Johnny Clash, and this week we are playing WWF Superstars for the Nintendo Game Boy, and we are being joined by Mr. Philip Cardigan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? How are you doing today?
Doing well. Wife's across the street with mailman Josh. Not really sure what she's doing, but I decided to come on the podcast. Maybe talk about some games.
She's probably helping, sort the mail or something, you know? It's a busy job.
Yeah. She keeps screaming, "Oh God!" So I'm assuming it's something with like maybe the church's mail or something. So
I say it's probably just a lot of mail.
Yeah.
Well, as always, guys, we'd love to hear from you. So please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and make sure to subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you choose to listen, and join the conversation on social media at Game Marks Pod. John.
Hello, George.
Another week. We are getting closer and closer every week to our 1-year anniversary. I can't believe you have agreed to do this with me for 1 entire year. I think you deserve an award, or at the very least a hug.
I don't want the hug.
I didn't say it was from me.
Okay.
Just
I've been
in
dealing
general.
with you long enough at this point that I just, you're just there. I just tolerate you. You're like a mosquito bite. I just keep itching. It just keeps coming back, but it's fine.
Oh, well, now I'm definitely giving you a hug.
You should see a doctor for that.
I should, but I'm not gonna. How are you, Phil?
Phil,
I'm great. I'm doing well. I'm ready to talk some video games.
So full disclosure, we started this a little late today because we had some technical difficulties on someone's end, but we're all settled now. We're not going to say Phil was upside down in his video chat for most of the time, but Phil might have been in the upside down. So yeah,
it's a little unnerving watching an upside down video.
I always film my promos 180 degrees upside down.
Oh,
Yeah?
that's how you capture the magic. I got it. See,
The magic, yes.
Insider trick.
Yes.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that.
When I was in art school, we actually used to draw people upside down because they're no longer people and they're now inanimate objects. So like you could get the lips down, the nose, and then when you flip it upside down, it's better. Fun fact.
Why did that sound so horribly disgusting?
That was like some cult stuff. Like,
Did it?
what were you? Why were you?
That was literally the most disgusting thing I've ever heard you say on this podcast. Like, I watched you inch closer to your microphone as you said that sentence. It was literally the most frightening thing.
That you draw
ever.
people upside down? What do you mean?
No,
You
were
got
just
closer and he's
and
like,
then you're
"You draw
as you
people
draw the lips,
upside
and then
down."
it's all the details, and then you flip it over, and I'm like, what is he talking about right
They
now?
no longer become people, but they become inanimate
They
objects.
become trophies in my basement.
All right, guys, fine. I won't talk about it anymore. Just a little fun fact, my God. But anyway, last week we played Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7. Right away, I'll say that I probably butchered the name of that title multiple times in the episode, so please forgive me because I've read it like 6 different ways, and yeah.
It's also like one of the longer title names that we've played.
Especially when we're like, New Japan Pro Wrestling 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7, a.k.a. Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7.
At some point, you kind of expect or hope that that's going to just be on autopilot, and you kind of just get through it on your own. But you screwed up a couple times. I definitely screwed up a couple times. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad I'm just done
We got
saying.
it right once or twice, so we were good.
Yeah. But anyway, yesterday, if you're listening on Monday, was our Twitch stream to the Extreme Rules pre-show. We are thankful for everyone who joined us there. We will get more into that next week since we are recording on Saturday and it didn't actually happen yet. But look forward to that. Look forward to more of those in the future for the next pay-per-view. Philip Cardigan over here, he's been streaming every night as well, or at least most nights. So join him when possible. We host him. We'll give him some shout-outs on our Twitter when he's going live if you aren't up to date with his stuff. So how's that been going for you?
Well, thanks for the shout out, by the way. You guys are making me blush. So the Twitch streams have been going well. We tried doing a Creator Pro Jackbox stream the other night. We streamed for 2 hours. It was great, quality content until I realized 2 hours later that you could only hear me. So that was fun. So thanks for listening to me only and checking the stream out, whoever did and played. And I know Game Marks was on there for a little while, so thanks, guys. But let's hope the next one's better. And yeah. So
hey, you know what? Technical difficulties happen, but sometimes they make it better. There was the full half hour before we started recording today where it was nothing but technical difficulties, and it may be the funniest thing that's ever happened on this podcast, and it wasn't even really recorded.
I was upside down for like
you were upside down.
5 minutes.
Which is great. It's going to be great for the blooper episode. Don't worry.
Okay, so normally when we have a guest on the podcast, we like to do some questions. So I was going to ask you, John, would you like to do the questions at the end of the show and jump into some gaming news now? Or would you like to do the questions first?
No, let's let everyone know who Phil is for those who don't know. Let's everyone
All right.
give him a little introduction here.
All right, so Phil, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I don't consider myself a professional wrestler. More of an artist in the ring with a cup of coffee. I have excellent 401k, dental, healthcare. My wife sometimes spends a little too much time across the street. I'm still trying to figure out what she's doing over there. But I like long walks on, the beach, backyards. And I like a good old cup of coffee.
Me too.
And I sometimes look at Johnny Clash's Twitter feed a little longer than I should.
Okay, reasonable.
And that's me.
Now, in terms of your video game expertise, we know that you have a Twitch channel. We were talking about it earlier. But in terms of, like, your games when you were younger, like, what games, are, like, staples in your childhood? What are those nostalgia games that you were just like, oh, I could pick this up anytime, any day, and this is still a great game?
Okay, so I was huge on Sega Genesis when I was little. So, like that was kind of like my first console. I wasn't really like a Nintendo guy, but I mainly just had the Sega Genesis starting out. So I would play games like Aladdin,
hardest game in the world,
Sonic. Oh my god. Well, let me get into this, but Lion King,
I was just going to say.
I think is probably
King
the hardest game.
That
game made me a man. I'm telling you. But yeah, so games like that, Sonic, and I recently just bought a Sega Genesis, so now like the nostalgia is hitting me again.
Oh, that's amazing.
So like stuff like that, and then like as I got a little older, like the original Xbox games. Like I know you guys just played the WWF Raw.
Yeah, unfortunately
for Xbox. Yeah, and that was listen, that was like a huge game in my childhood, as either good or bad as it was.
It was there.
Mainly, it was there. It was there. So, until I got to Raw 2, which was like, but, but basically my two biggest consoles were Sega Genesis and the original Xbox until, now.
All right. And then what would you say is like the first wrestling game that you played? Was it Raw? Was it, did you play any of the ones on Sega?
I played, I think it was one of the WrestleMania games on Sega.
Okay.
But I really started to play. Oh, I'm sorry. My first wrestling game ever was WWF SmackDown. I never even played Know Your Role until recently, which boggles my mind because I feel like that's the best one. But WWF SmackDown was always my game. I loved it. I loved the gameplay, and just recently I started picking up Know Your Role, and I just completely missed out on what that was.
Oh yeah,
or must have been like as a kid.
Get hit by cars at
I'm
WWF.
Pissed at myself. Yeah. I'm finding all this out now.
This is the
I don't know.
I think this may be the silver lining for video gamers during quarantine is that like there's so much time to go back and kind of like explore those games that you never had an opportunity to play or didn't get around to playing like when they first came out, and it's
Right.
a nice little learning experience.
100%. So, I'm probably gonna try to replay No Mercy again at some point. That's something I haven't played in too long, and I need to experience again.
All right.
But so that was like my first taste of like a wrestling game was WWF SmackDown or the WrestleMania game, either or. I don't remember. I was kind of tiny.
And I have one more question, and then I'll pass it off to John. So my last question is, aside from Jackbox, what was the last video game that you played?
Honestly, I think it was Last of Us 2. Because after I played that, I was like, I need to take a break from everything.
I still haven't beaten it. I am still working my way through. I rushed through the first game. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. I rushed through the first one because I was so hyped to play it. That with this one, I really want to get my money's worth and kind of slow burn it and like let it run like a really long movie or almost like you read a book. Like just really get my time out of it.
See, when I first played it, I played it as fast as I could because I wanted to avoid any spoiler. I get like YouTube notifications on my phone, and like as I was playing, it'd be like Last of Us 2. This is why this happened. I'm like, damn it! Like, what are you doing? Like, it's not popping up on my phone.
That happened yet.
Yeah. Jeez. So I played through it so quick, and I missed out on so much. And I wish I went and took the time to, search everything and really like enjoy it like I should have.
I'm having way too much fun with the guitar. Like way too much fun.
Guys, come on! I haven't bought the game yet.
You knew about the guitar.
I knew about the guitar. I'm gonna have way too much fun with the guitar too.
I literally the first time I found it, probably spent like 45 minutes just like playing with the guitar. I'm like, this is the coolest thing, like the coolest side little stupid detail in a video game ever.
Right. Yeah, and then like it like lets you play different chords, so now you're trying to play songs, with the different chords, but it's tough because you have to change like the menu to get to those other chords. Yeah. And I was like, it's incredible.
I'm very curious to see how you what you think about it, John, being that you are a guitarist.
Yeah, well, hopefully this week that happens. But anyway, I'm cutting you guys off. Enough of The Last of Us 2. Let's get into some gaming news.
Me and George locked eyes there, and I think something sparked. Sorry, for 10 minutes.
Are you looking to get a better grip on life? How about your video games? Well, VGF Gamers are the largest silicone gaming brand in the USA. They have a variety of different and unique skins for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One controllers and consoles. Check out their products at vgfgamers.com and use code GameMarks to receive 15% off your order at checkout. That's GAMEMARKS at checkout. VGF Gamers. Better grip, better style.
Microsoft will no longer be manufacturing the Xbox One X and Xbox One S all digital edition. While production on those will halt, the manufacturing of the Xbox One S will continue for the time being. Microsoft said the end of production on the other two consoles is part of its strategy of heading into the next generation of consoles with the Xbox Series X. The next-gen console is currently planned to be released sometime during the holiday 2020, and an event takes place next week giving us a better look at what games will be planned for it. Ubisoft is giving fans an up-close look at the much-anticipated Assassin's Creed Valhalla with their new Ivor's Fate character trailer. The trailer starts with some creepy narration, with the narration saying, "I can see your fate." We then see a glimpse of many of the locations that will be featured in the game, followed by a look at the darker and more unsettling areas of the game. We also see some of the enemies that Ivor will make along the way and some of the outside environments, including a beautiful snow-covered mountain, though all that fades and we start to see more of the brutal action we've come to love from the Assassin's Creed franchise. Now check back next week when we have more gaming news.
I cannot wait for the new Assassin's Creed. Cannot wait.
I think we've talked about it before. I kind of fell off a while back. I don't know. It just got so repetitive.
I fell off at Brotherhood. I
don't even know which one.
That's the one. The Brotherhood is the one with the twins. So I stopped playing after that one. I don't even think I finished that one. It was very, very glitchy. The storyline wasn't great. Brutal honesty, I kind of checked out after the whole Desmond storyline. So I just got it because I knew that I liked the way that the game played. But I don't know, something about a Norse Assassin's Creed kind of sounds pretty dope. So I'm all for it.
Which one was the one where you're in like the courtyard of a castle chasing a little girl who stole an apple? Was that Unity?
I think so.
I think that's the last one I played. Definitely not Odyssey or Rogue.
I'll say Odyssey was the last one that came out before this one. That kind of like
No, wait, Syndicate. That's the last one I played.
Syndicate. Oh, no, I misspoke. Brotherhood.
That's where you're the four different.
Yeah, Brotherhood is Brotherhood. Yeah, Brotherhood is still tied into that original storyline. I'm thinking of Syndicate.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. Wait. What did I say?
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Yeah. Syndicate is the one with the twins. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I got about halfway through and gave up.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, Phil, I don't know if you're familiar with our show. I think you are. It is now time for our favorite segment, the question of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Clash, and I'm here to tell you that the Game Marks podcast have their own pro wrestling tee store. Brace yourself, because the Game Marks podcast are on ProWrestlingTees.com with 4 brand new designs that are guaranteed to be the next big thing. So head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod today and play it forever. Marks.
All right, so the question of the week is a weekly segment. We go back and forth and we ask each other a question, and then we like to propose the same question to you. Last week, it was John's turn to ask a question, and he asked if you could build the perfect gaming controller, what would it be? And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't actually expecting you to build the controllers that we talked about. That was some
I built those from scratch, okay?
Those are some crazy Photoshop edits that you made, and I am here for it. That was awesome. Phil, real quick, favorite gaming controller of all time?
I'm gonna have to say the PS4 probably. Just because of like ease of access. It just has everything you want. Like I love the shape of the PlayStation controller way more than the Xbox, in my opinion. I don't know. That's always kind of just been my favorite. So
yeah, hey, you're not alone. I mean, I'm pretty sure me and John also said this PlayStation. It's in our perfect controllers. There's definitely some influence and variation of a PlayStation controller.
Right.
So some of the answers we got, one of our avid listeners, Will McDonough, he says he would like the Xbox One controller with the touchpad from PS4 and the back touchpad from the PlayStation Vita with the gyroscope from the Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
Now, in addition to that, my buddy John, my other friend John,
what?
Not you, John.
There's 2?
Yeah. So this is my friend John. I've known him since the 4th grade.
Fourth grade John.
4th grade John.
Yeah.
4th grade John says that he liked your render of the Dreamcast controller, but you have to have the little window for the car.
Yeah, I tried really hard to put that in, and it just didn't work.
I was gonna say that's like I like the way that controller looked, but he's right. That's like a major feature of the Dreamcast. That was like, you essentially had this living Tamagotchi style controller.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't fit Photoshop-wise. Sorry, guys. At Real Brian B, he said the perfect controller already exists, and he sent us the Bass Championship fishing controller. That's just the fishing reel with the buttons on it.
Oh boy,
that's good.
I can't argue that one. But anyway, this week, George, it is your turn to ask the question. You're going to ask me and Phil this week, so let's have it.
Okay, so a lot of the times we talk on this podcast about the nostalgia kick that you get and the nostalgia goggles that you put on when you play a video game. But I want to change it up a little bit. Let's talk about some nostalgia headphones.
Ooh.
So, I want you to put on those nostalgia headphones, everybody. And I want you to think long and hard about this question. What is your favorite opening theme to a wrestling show?
Oh.
So you can pick from Raw, SmackDown, Thunder, Heat, Nitro.
Oh, man.
You have all of those videos, all of those openings. What is your number
hands down,
one?
the Union Underground Across the Nation. You can't beat that one.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree.
But
Gotta agree.
I will say, not the SmackDown theme after The Beautiful People, when it kind of had the white background with like Rey Mysterio popping up and Batista and The Undertaker. Was it Drowning Pool?
It was either Drowning Pool or was that the one that was Beautiful
Yeah, Rise
People? It
Up,
was Marilyn
Drowning
Manson.
Pool. I like that one a lot also. The Beautiful People was cool. I just don't think it... I don't know. It was
Doesn't
cool.
top Union Underground.
I think-
it's cool though.
I think because I knew the song already, I was just like, oh, all right. We could...
Three-way tie for the best intro that we have right now?
yeah.
Are we all saying it's Union Underground?
When we throw this out to the listeners, they're going to all say the same thing too. That was the best song.
But like,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm trying to be, I guess objective is the right word in this, where I'm trying to go based off the song and not the era of wrestling, because like
It's a great
that-
song.
I
It's
know,
a-
but like that
it's a
original
banging song.
like Thorn in Your Eye,
Eh.
like is like the era of wrestling that is an amazing era of wrestling, but like that song is very repetitive and it's kind of
Right.
boring.
And then when
at
they
certain
brought out
points. And
the
I'm like,
Union Underground and Forcible Entry album, you're just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I was just like, this is an intro. Like, all right, everybody go to YouTube and type in Union Underground Across the Nation and watch that official music video. It's 3 minutes of just like nostalgia kick of just wrestlers, and like it's an actual music video for the song itself. It's awesome.
And
It's
people redo them.
So cool.
I love the redos that people do, like with the current roster with the same song.
The redos are surprisingly so good.
Yeah,
Like,
all of
it looks like it would, but it fits.
But I think SmackDown ruined it down the line when they put Green Day, and Green Day is like one of my top 3 least favorite bands.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
I did not
Sorry,
know
Green
that
Day
about
people.
you.
Green Day, I'd say Green Day, Weezer, and Paramore are like on the bottom.
Weezer will always have a soft spot in my heart.
No. Fuck Weezer.
All right, well, there's the new shirt coming from Johnny Clash, ProWrestlingTees.com/Johnny Clash. All right, well, that is the question of the week, and as always, we'd like to hear from you. Let us know your answers on any form of social media at GameMarksPod. John, Phil, I think it might be time to take our hashtag deep dive. What do you say?
It's 90 degrees out today, no cloud in the sky. Let's take the damn plunge.
I agree.
Hey guys, Johnny here. While we love talking about video games and wrestling here on the podcast, we wanted to share with you a new offer from our friends at Stitcher. An enormous amount of shows and bonus episodes are available on Stitcher Premium, such as Office Ladies, Comedy Bang Bang, WTF with Mark Aaron, How Did This Get Made, Bitch Sesh, True Crime Garage, Marvel's Wolverine, and plenty more. Right now, you could sign up for Stitcher Premium for only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year using our code GameMarksPodcast. That's all one word. Head on over to Stitcher.com/premium for this amazing deal and a free month. That's Stitcher.com/premium and use code GameMarksPodcast. That's all one word. Game on, Marks.
All right, so WWF Superstars released April 1991 for the Nintendo Game Boy, developed by Rare, published by LJN, and this is the most arcadey Game Boy game I have ever played literally in my entire life. I still have not formed an opinion on this game. I obviously will need to form one by the end of this episode, but it was surprisingly different from the other Game Boy titles that we've played.
Well, this was the first Game Boy game that WWF put out, so it kind of set the pretty low bar for all of the other Game Boy games. And next, they came out with Superstars 2, obviously, only a year later. It had more Superstars, it had Tag Team, it had a cage, but it had less moves. So they kind of took a step back just to add guys like The Undertaker, etc., which we'll get into when we get to that game. But I think, honestly, if you play like Warzone or Attitude, or I'll go as far as even saying Survivor Series for the Game Boy Advance that we played, this game was a little bit better than those, I think, because of the simplicity of the Game Boy, if that makes any sense, other than obviously what, like the character models, the arenas, the ring looked better, it was in color. I think this one was a little better. Is that just bad opinion?
No, I mean, coming from like other titles that we've played for portable systems, like this it wasn't bad. Like,
no,
there were like little nitpicky parts, like, you know, there's parts before a match where you guys cut promos on each other, which is super cool and interesting for a Game Boy game. The mouths open with what your character is supposed to be saying, but the mouths
the
do not open circle. at all in proportion to your character at all. And you know, there's certain points where it looks like they're kind of talking out of the side of their mouth. Phil, first impressions, what'd you think?
So, I gotta agree. For a Game Boy game, it wasn't terrible by any means. It was, I played a little bit, and I enjoyed it. Like, I loved picking people up easily and just tossing them like ragdolls in this game, and suplexing people that kind of look like elbow drops.
That's how you wrestle most of your matches.
That's my suplexes somehow always turns into elbow drops. Yeah, and then I just pick people up because I'm beefy. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I liked it. I definitely would play again.
We'll get to that later.
Oh, spoilers! Start.
So like we said, you have generic taunts in the beginning. So say you pick Macho Man, for example. He'll say something like, "Oh, do I have to put the voice on?"
Ooh. Phil, have you ever heard Johnny Clash's Macho Man voice?
You do a Macho Man voice? I've known you for so long. You've never done a Macho Man voice?
I had a cigar last night, so my throat's a little itchy. So we'll see how this goes.
What a treat this is gonna be for you.
I can take anything you got. Oh yeah, and still beat you.
Wow.
But then on the other side, Mr. Perfect would say back to him, "For a man named Savage, you look like a wimp to me."
Ooh. Oh, but Tis.
So each superstar kind of has like the babyface, like generic taunt towards the other guy, but then you also have like a specialized one specific towards the opponent. So everyone has one like with a rebuttal, like Mr. Perfect. Also, after the match, Vince McMahon does commentary, kind of something like, "Oh, he just got the pinfall, but the other guy couldn't get it done." Like very generic, but it shows Vince McMahon holding the microphone. So that's cool. Cool way to put like that kind of commentary and stuff into a Game Boy game that generically wouldn't have, you know, commentary coming out of the speakers.
Yeah. Now, we already mentioned Macho Man and Mr. Perfect, but do you want to talk about this star-studded roster that we have here?
Yeah, do we have the time to read it all? I mean, Phil, do you want to read it?
It's a lot. All
right, take a big breath in, take a swig of water. Yeah. Let's get ready. Yeah.
Let's get comfortable here.
Say stretch it out.
Yeah, I do that in all my matches. See, George watches the product. Okay, so we got Ultimate Warrior. We have Hulk Hogan, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. We have Macho Man, Randy Savage, also played by Johnny Clash. And we have Mr. Perfect. So, are we still recording? That was a lot. But
wow. Oh my God.
I
got goosebumps. That was...
Sit back.
I got to take a water break. Yeah.
I'll say you need to like walk it off. That's fine. Like that was.
We got an ad break coming up, right? Jeez.
Heavy lift.
This isn't Office Ladies.
So it's a star-studded lineup, definitely. I would probably only just choose Macho Man, but yeah, I mean, it's got 5 big, huge, legendary names, so can't go wrong like that.
That is the 1991 WWF roster. Pretty much everyone else didn't matter.
Now I have a question. Did you guys feel like the menu controls were really weird in this game?
Yes.
Like switching your character was
Yeah.
like an A and B thing. It wasn't like your D-pad thing.
That took me a
was
second to
super
figure
strange
out.
To me. Like,
And there was like the little
I was
stars
like-
that swirled around you, and they
I
like
thought I was
faded
doing
and-
something wrong. Like I was just like, what
Yeah.
are these stars here for? And then I was
Yeah, I
like, oh,
definitely had that.
superstars. They gotta have stars in it.
Yeah, there were a lot of stars. A lot of stars. But speaking of stars, all of the wrestlers, they pretty much have the same moves with the exception of like individualized strike attacks. So the moves consist of punches, kicks, body slams, which you could literally take the person, body slam them, and just toss them out of the ring. It was ridiculous. Grappling moves that could only
12
be
feet in
performed...
the air.
Yeah. Grappling moves that can only be performed by picking your opponent up from the mat, like a pile driver, a suplex, and a headlock with punches. Now, that headlock with punches was hilarious because I was Warrior, and all of a sudden, I just had the guy in a headlock. I'm like, what do I do now? Like, instinct
Just
wrestler
button
me. I'm like, I'm going to just take him over, But no, you press A or B, and you just start wailing on his head.
Johnny Clash special. It's time
Yeah.
to button mash.
So now ground attacks, you have elbows or knee drops, but it was very hard to even get the guy on the ground without him just rolling around and getting back up until it was like the end of the match and their health was way down. Running moves, there was a clothesline and a drop kick. Flying turnbuckle moves, which was an elbow or a knee drop, where you fly so high in the air that you go off the screen and you don't know where you're coming down. And you just always...
I tried to hit it. I couldn't hit it.
I hit it. You just automatically find the guy, really. You could also wrestle outside of the ring, like we said, by going through the ropes, or you could get drop kicked through the ropes, tossed out of the ring. Now, here was something that was a little broken. I got tossed out of the ring. Now, you go back in the ring, kinda, but the screen didn't, like, flip back facing forward yet, and, like, Mr. Perfect hit a drop kick on me, and he flew back outside the ring, and I was just in the ring like, huh? What happened? And apparently, being thrown out of the ring or throwing the guy out of the ring can only be done once per match because it causes a lot of damage.
Now, we spend a lot of time talking about just like the visual effects, and being that we were just talking about being outside the ring, Clash, what'd you think of the crowd in this game?
The crowd didn't exist.
Yeah.
It was just a
like,
black
not even...
crowd with like camera flashes. So I actually get that because the Game Boy screen was what, like 1.5 inches? Maybe 2 inches tops.
I think it was like a 2x2 or
2
like
by
2.5
2 by
by
3 or
2.5.
something. Yeah, it wasn't big. So I think if they did actually put a crowd in, I don't know, everything would just get lost.
And also, there's a certain amount of memory that you can use on the cartridge and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you don't want to overdo it. But I just figured it was a fun little detail that I know we always like to talk about, so I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, but the whole art style did remind me of WCW, the main event that we played. Check it out in the archives. That was 3 years later, but obviously this one looked a little better because, LJN and WCW,
I was going to say, that was something that I wanted to talk about. So, the art style for the crowd obviously is non-existent, but like the wrestler sprites were not that bad. I mean, they were, obviously you can pick and choose stuff, but it wasn't like, we're not talking like a Ron Simmons issue here. Like this was not a bad game.
No, it wasn't terrible. I think I only had an issue with Mr. Perfect because he just looked so generic. He looked like Hulk Hogan. But then if you think about a side-scrolling Mr. Perfect, I mean, what's he supposed to look like on a Game Boy, With no color.
Phil, what'd you think graphics?
Yeah, I was a little off put by Mr. Perfect, but you got to remember it's Game Boy, and it is what it is. I also it's so weird because I haven't played Game Boy obviously in so long, but like every time like you hit like the slam, you get like the static sound, and even in my opinion, like even if they had a crowd in there, like all like the sound of the crowd would probably be all like the static of the sound from Game Boy. So that kind of
That's true.
I had to it's like, you know what I mean? But
WCW had that, I think.
So yeah, so I definitely played this without any sound. It was a lot more enjoyable.
That's the thing. Like when I was younger, I used to always have like headphones plugged into the Game Boy. I would always listen. Now I'm like, get this shitty 8-bit music away from me. I don't want to hear it. I don't care about an 8-bit real American. I could hear that on YouTube if I really want to listen to it, but I don't. One thing we didn't touch on.
But back then, we thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah. One thing we didn't touch on was once you take your player and you beat the other 4 that are, the only other 4 on the roster, you are named the WWF World Heavyweight Champion. And on completion, all it does is, show a little portrait of your character. So,
hey, you know what? It's better than Winner Is You.
Is it though?
I don't know.
Because we still remember a winner is you. We will always remember a winner is you.
That's true.
Now, I had an issue. You could also pick between 1 fall or 3 falls. You could do a best out of 3, so it depends how long you actually want to play. I did a best out of 3 just to kind of warm up. I was the Ultimate Warrior. And me and Mr. Perfect, in match number 3, this was something really weird. So,
their own Clash at the Feast.
I did my own Clash at the Feast, yeah. The last match, so it was match number 3, we both had minimal health. He knocked me down kind of by like the front ropes. I couldn't roll because my health was gone, and all he had to do was pin me and he would have won. But instead, he just kept trying to like kick me and knee drop me, and he kept missing. So his health kept going way up. Like he now had full health. My health bar, every time it would go like a little bit, he'd kick me again, I would have no health, and he'd just stand over me. He would never pin me. And this went on for like 5 minutes before I was like, all right, screw it. And I reset the game. It was just super weird.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, super weird. Of course it would happen to me.
I mean, that's what happens when you try to do Clash of the Feast without me. All right, so let's talk about this cover artwork. So the front cover, we're looking at Macho Man. We're looking at the Ultimate Warrior, and we're looking at Hulk Hogan with that wonderful, just deliciously very 80s, delicious looking, very 80s looking Superstars logo.
So this is the same Superstars logo as the arcade Superstars.
Just nothing better than this era of logos where everything has this odd, like, is this the thought in the 80s that in the future everything was just going to be golden chrome?
Yeah, probably. I mean, this was the 90s, but either way.
I know, but this was definitely a game that was like developed in the 80s.
Yeah, I could see how that's like, ooh, this is all futuristic, but it's also like the WrestleMania font, so, to each their own. Yeah. It's a different Superstars logo than the show WWF Superstars, but it's the same as the arcade cabinet WWF Superstars.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to put 3 people on a cover of a game. I mean, you can't go wrong. Actually, I could think of 3 better people to put on the cover of a game.
Is it us?
It would be Johnny Clash. That'd be George Feast. That'd be Phil Cardigan. I just throwing it out there. Maybe there's a game that comes out and it's called Pod Stars, and that's the game, and it's just us.
Clash, you're gonna have to make that edit now, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But so you're gonna have to learn to program a game while I design the artwork of this actual cover that's happening, and then you're gonna have to program the game.
So I said this on the last Game Boy game, like just seeing that sidebar that says Game Boy in that like silver chromey looking background, they had that forever, and it just that just takes me back so hard to like the Pokemon days, to like the Tetris days.
Oh yeah.
Then you look at the back and you see like the green and black screenshots that are just
that kills me every time.
So why wouldn't they put like at least black and white? Come on, like the green and black, like I get that's what your Game Boy looks like, but it's just very not appealing, and it's very hard to see what's going on.
There's like I don't know, like a certain charm of like that weird calculator screen that was on the original Game Boy. Yes. Like there was just something
with no backlight,
something so genuine and just pure about it. And I think we mentioned it the last time that we played a Game Boy game where you'd be in the car sitting in the back seat. Yeah, you're just like, oh, street light. Oh, a street light. Oh, a street light. I can finally see my screen for like, half a second.
Did you have the giant screen that like went over it?
Dude, I have that. It is in my room somewhere. I have my original Game Boy.
The glass magnifying
screen, the thing
right?
that clipped to the back of the thing. It had the magnifying glass, and you put like a AA battery in there, and it had like 2 lights on. Dude, that is somewhere.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
that is somewhere in the room I am sitting in right now.
That, and I had the one for the Game Boy Color. It was like that little squiggle light. that you could like bend.
Yep.
Yeah,
It looked like a booklight.
that one wasn't as good.
That was hilarious. The little dude, you look at like the Game Boy Advance one, which was the nice magnifying glass with the two lights, and you look at the other one, it's just like the little squiggly line, dude. That always cracked me up for some reason.
Yeah, because the other one looks like a serious piece of hardware.
Yeah.
It's just like bargain.
Some
bin.
high tech
Like,
stuff. Yeah.
The future is a squiggly line.
All right, guys, what do you say we hit some fast facts real quick? WWF Superstars goes on eBay for about $9 for the cartridge, $30 to $40 boxed, and $99 brand spanking new.
Also, in 1991, WWF released WWF WrestleMania for the DOS and Amiga, and WWF WrestleFest for the arcade game, both in our archives.
And we say "are" because now you're a part of the podcast.
I'm a family here.
You're part of the family. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just slightly upside down.
So if you guys look here,
the upside down family member of the show.
So if you guys look here, I put a link to WWF Superstars on Amazon.
Yeah.
I want you guys.
Clicked it?
Yeah, I want you guys to
click
it.
I'm clicking it.
What does it bring you to?
So that's not WWF Superstars, but
Is this your morning smoothie, Phil?
this is what my morning smoothie looks like after I go to the bathroom. Casino sauce crudettes nature.
Yeah,
Is this German?
I don't know,
What
but
is
it
this?
says WWF Superstars by Nintendo, platform Game Boy. It has a rating of 4 stars.
And
Not
there's
bad.
The graphics
reviews,
are superb for a Game Boy game. Yet the picture and everything is for a crudite sauce, whatever the hell that is, in a different language.
Are you
But
saying?
I have to
Wait, hold on. Are you both of you actually saying crudites?
I have no idea what that is, George.
It's crudite. It's like chopped up vegetable. This is essentially like ranch dressing. It's like the dip for vegetables.
We're meat
it's like
eaters.
a crudite platter.
We're meat eaters. Here,
Crudites, omelette du fromage, same thing, George, same thing.
I can't.
Oh, but I have to. Let's just bring this up. There's only 2 left in stock. So if you do want a WWF Game Boy Superstars for the Game Boy, you got to grab it now.
You could,
And it comes with a smoothie, right?
it's only $245, but you could buy it used for $14.25.
That must taste
Plus-
scrumptious.
Plus $4.49 shipping.
Yeah, for your crudité sauce. Sorry, George. Sorry, Chef Georgie. George Ramsay over here.
Crudite.
I watched George say that, and he pushed his glasses up when he said that.
He did.
He did. I watched him do it.
All right. I'm done with this crudite talk.
Crudité, George.
George, it's crudité?
It's
Oh,
crudité,
thanks.
actually.
Thanks.
If
George,
you
guys.
knew that.
George, you've been chopped.
Thanks, guys. Does the charismatic enigma eat crudites? All right, so I'm done with both of you. I need a break. I need you to take me through some ratings and reviews, John. Give me a little R&R.
All right, so Nintendo Power reviewed WWF Superstars in their April 1991 issue and rated it a score of 2.9 out of 5. That's it.
All right, that was fun. All right, man,
A little
Not
over
even
middle of the road.
It's not even like a Metacritic. I would have accepted an IMDb again. I don't know.
Here's my thing. You're going to give this game a 2.9 out of 5 in your own magazine. So if this is the only review, you're only going off
they
of
didn't make
Nintendo Power. Do you want people to buy the only wrestling game on your system right now?
But it's not like Nintendo made the game. Like it's not like this is Super Mario.
The seal of quality
It's like-
is on this game.
All right.
You
All right.
feel? You feel?
I got.
But
you, I got you.
This is the first game, so what are they comparing it to give it a 2.9 out of 5?
That's true. I don't know. Maybe listen. The person who reviewed it in Nintendo Power may have just not been a wrestling fan.
True.
It's
He
also
may have just liked
possible.
smoothies. Who knows?
That's it. Maybe they're waiting for their crudite sauce.
Right,
They're
exactly.
They're crudite smoothies.
All right.
We're
so
sitting here thinking it's like a
unfortunately-
V8, and he's like, it's crudité. It's crudité
It's
sauce.
not even the crudité, it's a
You-
V8.
I
I dip my
literally just
carrots in
drinking
it
it.
every night.
You're just drinking ranch dressing, pretty much.
I mean, I do
so-
anyway.
Ew. That's horrible. Is that what you put on your steak? Is that your seasoning for your steak?
No, but I did get some buttery Kinder sauce, and it's amazing. So check that out.
Wait, real quick, Clash, are you one of the people who dip their pizza in ranch dressing?
Not unless it's like buffalo chicken pizza.
Can I be honest with you? I don't think I've ever done that ever in my entire life.
It's a thing that people do.
I like both. I'm a fan of both. I just don't know if I can combine the two to make.
Yeah, like chicken bacon ranch makes sense.
Yeah,
but like to take like just like a regular slice of pizza and dip it in ranch dressing sounds like it just like dip a chip in ranch dressing. Like you don't need an entire piece of pizza to be the vessel for ranch dressing.
I don't think I'd hate it.
Use something else.
I am a ketchup dipper for my grilled cheese. I will say that, or sometimes barbecue sauce.
I thought you were going to say your steak. I was about to be like, this podcast is
I am
over.
an adult, George.
Hey, stranger things have happened.
No, try barbecue sauce or ketchup in your grilled cheese. It's delicious.
Oh, that's the friendly sandwich, dude.
Exactly.
Barbecue sauce.
The friendly sandwich is the grilled cheese with the chicken fingers.
Yes. There's no chicken, though. It's just grilled cheese.
No, but they do it. I know it.
Oh, yeah. I know. That was my go-to.
So, unfortunately, due to the fact that we don't have a link cable, we were unable to do a Clash at the Feast for this game, but we took care of it. And coming to you from the future after our Extreme Rules lovely Twitch stream, the pre-show, is Johnny Clash to let you know who won that match. Take it away, future Johnny.
What's up, guys? It's Johnny Clash. I am here at work today from the future. Unfortunately, I'm actually in the office today, so that kind of sucks, but here we are. If you hear some noise, that's why. But last night on our live stream, we had the fans, you guys, pick who we were for Clash at the Feast this week. Since Superstars is only a single-player game, I was the big boss man. George was the macho man. We did a ladder match. It was the worst match in all of ladder match history, and George pulled off the win, of course. Pretty cheaply, actually, if you ask me, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, congratulations, George. You're just really good at video games.
All right, and
great.
Now that is out of the way, and we know where the standings are, as we inch closer and closer to the 1-year anniversary and Season 2, Chapter 2, Volume 2, whatever we're going to call it, of the Game Marks podcast, I think it is time for us to rate the game.
The game!
All right, so I'm going to start with you, Clash, because I'm going to let the guest get the final word here. WWF Superstars for the Game Boy. Will you play it forever or future endeavor?
You're fired!
I'm just future endeavoring this. Maybe WWF Superstars 2 is better with the bigger roster.
You're fired!
I feel like I do need to play it forever, a Game Boy game, soon, because, I don't know. I can't just say I hate them all, right?
I mean, we got to find one that you like eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. This being it's the first one, I think it didn't just have that substance to it to keep playing it. But if I was, I was 3 in 1991. If I was a little older and I actually had this game, maybe I would love it for nostalgia reasons, but that's not what we're judging on. We are taking off the nostalgia goggles, but I'm just not feeling it. Sorry. Future endeavor.
All right. Well, I am going to politely disagree with you. I think that this was a great game. I very much enjoyed it, and for it being a portable game on the Game Boy, I would have loved to have this as a kid, and I am going to play this forever, and I'm very excited to play Superstars 2. Woo! And with that,
all right,
we will throw it over to the newest family member of the podcast, Philip Seymour Cardigan.
Okay, so after much thinking, I'm going to have to say this game for me is a future endeavor.
You're fired!
As far as the nostalgia goes, you cannot beat the 5 wrestlers, the 5 legendary wrestlers that are on this roster. Anything Game Boy just instantly hits in the feels with nostalgia. But I have to take off the nostalgia goggles, like Clash said. The gameplay, I mean, it's fun in the moment, but would I go back to play it again? Probably not. So I'm going to have to say this is a future endeavor for me.
All right.
But what about the Crudite sauce? Play it forever or
Used? Yeah.
use
Okay.
Play forever.
What about the? Would you play forever or future endeavor the charismatic enigma?
George, play it forever.
Okay,
The DOS and the DOS and the charismatic enigma? Come on, man. Yeah.
All right.
With your side of Credite? Forget about it.
Nothing better. Sounds like the perfect Sunday. All right.
Chef
now,
kiss.
this is the slowly becoming at least one person's favorite part of this podcast, Johnny Fire Pro.
Okay, so if anyone follows me on my personal Twitch at jclash21, where I have been streaming a little bit more like UFC and Call of Duty, I didn't play that much Fire Pro this week, I will admit. I did start working on the Conor McGregor character model, like I said last week, but then I got to the move section and I was like, yeah, how am I going to put it in all these MMA moves? So I'm thinking I'm going to restart him. I'm going to find a character that's already in there that I could just take the moveset from and just, some high kicks, some punches, and call it a day, and then put the character model over them. But that's all really for Johnny Fire Pro this week. I'll probably play more this weekend and let you guys know next week what I do.
Okay. Well, looking forward to seeing what progress you make on Conor McGregor. I guess it's time to put a bow on it. I don't know. Do we want to say what we're playing next week?
Yeah, tell us what we're playing next week. We are only 3 episodes away from the 1 year episode.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Getting sweaty just thinking about it. Wow.
So tell us what we're playing next week, George.
All right. Well, next week on the podcast, we are playing All-Star Pro Wrestling for the PlayStation 2. Have you ever played this game? Because I have never played this game.
I've never played this game, no.
What it is. Phil, you know what it is?
Nope, I've never played it.
No, never played it, but I'm very excited to play it because it is another Japanese title. It has some familiar faces in there. It looks like a really good game, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I've never actually played it because graphically it looks phenomenal.
Well, I have good news. There is also an All-Star Pro Wrestling 2, so if you really like what we're playing next week, maybe in year 2, we will play All-Star Pro Wrestling 2.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Phil, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us this week. I really appreciate it. John, I'm sure, also really appreciates it.
Guys, thank you so much. I had so much fun. I love talking games with you guys. We should do it again sometime.
Hey, is your wife home
Maybe
yet?
over dinner. No. I keep hearing some ruckus next across the street, so that means they're probably done. So
okay. Well, do you want to? We don't want to keep you here for any longer than you have to be. Do you want to just let everybody know where they can find you on social media?
Yes, sure. So on Twitter, you can find me at Philip Cardigan. Same Instagram handle. I am, like we talked about before on the podcast, I am new and streaming on Twitch, so you could find me at Philip Cardigan on Twitch.
Is that one L or two L's?
Check out. That is 2 L's for Philip. Philip. And then on YouTube, Philip Cardigan on YouTube. So please check out my videos. I just made a video with the one and only Bonesaw from Spider-Man. Feel free to check that out. We wrestled, got to know each other a little better, and I thought it was pretty mediocre. So give that a like and a check out.
You have a pro wrestling tee store?
I do. Oh, thank you. I was waiting for me not to forget. I do have a
shirt, Clash.
What?
Did you make that shirt? Is that why you plugged it?
No.
Oh. I thought you were gonna be like,
There are 3 designers here.
Oh, I didn't know that you were also a designer.
I know who's the least best designer here.
George?
It's me. No, it's me. It's Phil Cardigan. It's Phil Cardigan. Yes, you can find me on Pro Wrestling Tees. Type in Phil Cardigan on Pro Wrestling Tees. You can buy my newest shirt and only shirt, Cozy Cardigan, so you can get your very own cardigan shirt that says my beautiful name on it. And all proceeds will go to Philip's wife for some reason.
And if you need a little kicker, doesn't Matt Cardona also own that shirt, as he is a big fan of you and that shirt?
He does. Matt Cardona is currently rocking somewhere a Philip Cardigan t-shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Oh, amazing.
Looking absolutely buff. Yes.
All right, take us home, George.
That's going to do it for us this week on the Game Marks Podcast. Please check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/GameMarksPod. It is currently the best way besides listening to support the podcast. And be sure to follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. Leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts and subscribe wherever you choose to listen. This was fun. I think this may be one of my most favorite episodes that we've done. This was a good time. So normally this is the part where Johnny says, say goodnight and all that other stuff, and he does his game over thing. But I know you really got to go, Phil. So you can just you can run off, go get your wife, go check on your wife. I know you got to go handle that. So don't feel like you have to stay.
Listen, guys, I just want to say thanks again. Honey, hold on. She needs a towel.
Yeah,
Honey,
go take care.
What's on your face? Honey?
Game over, Marks.
On the radar, playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no game shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.